Yo, what's up guys, welcome to part 8 of my team career mode. Today we are driving around Spain, the Spanish Grand Prix in Barcelona, Catalonia. Of course, last race was Monaco, one of my most feared races. But even though it was a difficult one, we started in P16, not the best qualifying of course for us this season. But we still managed to get ourselves up into P7 and eventually finish our first ever Monaco Grand Prix into points. And I was pretty proud of that. If you haven't seen that one, sorry for the spoiler, but you can still check it out. It was an amazing video. And if you aren't subscribed yet, please subscribe. We are on our way to 500 subscribers, trying to get it before the end of July, as we are doing some upgrades. We have 2k resource points. And yeah, I thought like, why not do as many upgrades as possible? We are doing a major energy recovery system upgrade coming on in time for a few Grand Prix. And we are doing as many upgrades as possible, of course, a few for Canada as well. So yeah, hopefully that will go on in time. You can see 5 upgrades in total. Looks like at the moment we are a bit worse than McLaren and a lot better than Alpine. As you can see, we are the gray line underneath McLaren. So it looks like Red Bull is the strongest, but they haven't been upgrading that much. It looked like Mercedes have already reached the budget cap, but they are still spending money. And now, even though that Alfa Romeo wasn't that bad, they are now the worst team on the grid. So a lot of things are changing in this MyTeam career mode, of course, for us as well, because we are improving every single Grand Prix. And now it's time to see how much we improve in Spain. So you can see it's our first wet session of the season, or at least I think it's the first wet session because I haven't driven any wet sessions before. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments down below. But you can see we are the first one out on Indus and we are immediately putting it in P2. Of course, there is still a lot of time to gain as the track is improving every single lap. That's why I decided to take a bit more fuel with me today, as I usually do one run or maybe two. And yeah, I decided to do a cool down lap in between. As you can see, even though it's a cooldown lap and we are not even using ERS, we are still improving, and it looks like we are going to set the fastest lap, even though we didn't mean to do it. So this one will hopefully be a lot better than this previous one. But this qualifying is all about being on the track with the right tire on the right time, as Leclerc is now the second driver to go onto the intermediate tires. As we are improving by a second. It's quite crazy, the difference between laps, as the track is just improving every single second. So hopefully we will get through to Q2, because of course we only have 3 more laps, and if we are not improving enough in those final 3 laps, well, then it could be, even though we are in P1, we could still lose and get behind the top 16. So that's of course what we not want, as we are still improving every single lap, 3.5 minutes to go. And I think it's ready for all the AI drivers to go out as well. Yes, you can see that they are all coming out. We are improving by 8 tenths to go to a 24.4. Yes, and now I wanted to do another one. Of course, a lot of traffic. You can see everybody waiting for me to go through. Yellow flag as well. And even though a lot of people waited, Ocon just couldn't, and he decided to just go and go onto the apex. He got a 5-place grid penalty. My teammate 3 seconds off the base. Oh, can we please replace him earlier than the midway, as P16 and P17 was the same time. Oh, I just hate it so much. My teammate is so slow. I want to go for Alonso, of course, if we don't have the money for Lando Norris, of course, because Alonso could be retiring at the end of the season or maybe next season, because he's getting a bit older than all the other guys. And once again, we have somebody there on the apex of turn 1. This time it's Guanyu Zhou, who just got through by less than 1,000 of a second. I wish it wasn't that way, but unfortunately it is. As we now put in the fastest lap, the track is still improving, but I think we can gain quite a lot of time here as we are behind Albon. And it looks like he's in the fast lap as well, so there's nothing that we can do. But even though we are still stuck behind Albon, we are improving by more than half a second. That's how much time we lost due to Guanyu being there in that first lap. But now we are of course fighting with not Alonso, with Albon, because we want to do a fast lap, only improving by half a second. I think we lost about 3 or 4 tenths due to being behind Albon, but in the end we still put in a 121.8. Albon and Zhou already slower than me, so we should be fine with getting through 3 times slower, and it looks like we are still in P5. Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez both out in Q2, not getting through as they didn't improve their time, it looks like. Don't know what happened there. Lando Norris out as well, Pierre Gasly, and yeah, Albon, by the way, still going through to Q3. A lot of people who shouldn't be here are still here, as we are now with a watching shot qualifying for us. I didn't want to ruin any tires here, so I decided to just go for one single run and see where we got with that one lap. As you can see, we are starting this lap with 1 minute 44 remaining. And how is it even possible? Carlos Sainz, he goes out as soon as we are starting our lap. He's not even near anyone else. It's just to ruin our lap. What is it with this qualifying and people trying to stop me from doing some great laps? It's really annoying. And hopefully this didn't ruin our qualifying and we can still get P6 or P5, because it's really possible now. With Zhou, Stroll, Bottas, Alonso and ourselves of course, they shouldn't be here. We go up to P4. Is that enough? I don't know. Are we starting another lap? I think we are. Yes, we are starting another lap. We are still improving. No, we are not anymore. We are trying to push as hard as possible. Going on the grass with one tire. Oh, we just breeze the wall. But still, it's P4. No way. We got P4 in the end. Albon and P6. So yeah, it looks like Mercedes is once again the strongest out here, just like in Monaco. They are starting to be unbeatable, even though they are the third team on the grid. Damn.
Welcome along everyone to sunny Spain, specifically to the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya. So many great moments in Formula One history have been written at this very track over the years, including Michael Schumacher's first win for Ferrari back in '96. That win was in the rain. We might have better weather here today, but we're just as overjoyed to be at the Spanish Grand Prix. It's an updated track at Catalunya, and we welcome the removal of the chicane in the final sector, shortening lap time and reducing the total running to 2.9 miles and 14 turns. This was actually the original setup for the track, and it hasn't been used since 2007. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, just ahead of George Russell, who starts this event from P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Lightning, Sainz, Albon, Bottas, Zhou, Stroll, Perez, Verstappen, Ocon, Gasly, Norris, Oscar Piastri, Magnussen, Tsunoda, De Vries, Fernando Alonso, Drugovich, Sargent, and Nico Hülkenberg rounds off the grid. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race. And a warm welcome to Natalie Pinkham, who's beside me in the commentary box today. Let's talk about Lightning. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
Well, the atmosphere within the team seems very positive at the moment. Everyone seems like they're in great spirits and having a lot of fun doing what they do. And that has definitely contributed to the performances we've seen.
Starting the Grand Prix then from P4. It looks a cloudy day today, but we are starting on the slicks. It's lights out and away we go for the Spanish Grand Prix. A great start from us. Faster away than Charles Leclerc, already up to the podium positions. Can we even overtake Russell and Hamilton? They are doing some team tactics, going to the inside and taking slipstream from each other. Going around the inside of George Russell, and we are up into P2. Or are we? It looks like we are a bit slow out of that corner. Still side by side with George Russell, pushing ourselves to the limit, but Russell just has the better traction out of that corner, and it looks like we have to settle for P3 now. Going a bit wide, don't know why I did that, and we lost the position to not only Leclerc but also Albon. still side by side, but going down the inside now to get our P3 back. And we are inviting Albon to do the same, because we know that Albon is of course slower than Charles Leclerc, and he's already out of the top 5. Lewis Hamilton of course now leading the Grand Prix with 2.5 seconds to us already in just a second lap. But it looks like the Mercedes, they are a lot stronger than us. They are getting away every single lap, as Leclerc is trying to go for a gap that doesn't exist. Luckily, we didn't get any damage from that, because we are of course on simulation damage, and it's really easy for us to get a puncture around here. He's going for the move, not making it of course, because we are great defenders. We didn't actually have to do something. He just fucked it up himself. But it looks like we are still in the fight for P3 here today. But I have the feeling that as soon as these tires are gone, we are slow as maybe like our teammates. That would be the absolute worst. But it looks like we are still in P3 for now. So as long as we can keep that, that would be great. Of course, now with the DRS enabled in lap 6, there's nothing to do. You know, I was trying my best. I didn't put overtake on because I knew it wasn't helpful at all. And that's how we lost our podium for today. Maybe we get another podium chance in the later stage of this season. But for now, we need to be as fast as possible to try and stay in P4. If not possible in P5, if not possible in P6. But top 6 is what I want today after such a great qualifying. We are going for the move on Charles Leclerc. Around the outside we go. No, we are not going around the outside. It looks like the overtake wasn't there. And that means that we have to settle down in P4 once more. The gap now is 1.5 seconds. That means that we are no longer inside the DRS. And it looks like Verstappen, I don't know. It's just really annoying. We had the pace over 1 lap. But once it comes to racing, you can see the tires are already up to 40%. I think we are going to do an early stop, because these softs are just ruining our race. Losing a position to Carlos Sainz as well? No, it doesn't, because we don't give him any space. Luckily, the FIA didn't see that, as we paid them enough money. So now we can only do one more upgrade this season on the how does that get called? What is it called? I don't know it anymore, but you can spend more money than that, as we are already in lap 10 into the pits. Of course, earlier than I wanted. Not sure if this is the best strategy, but it's the only strategy that we have. And of course, being the 11th team on the grid, we are even disadvantaged at the end of this pit straight, because I can't even get myself off of the pit limiter, even though it's already available, just because you are still in the animation of getting out of your pit box. But in lap 13 we are finally catching up to Logan Sargent. He's of course the slowest guy on track today, together with De Vries, Drugovic and Tsunoda. But it's easy work for us. They are on all softs, and I'm hoping that the leaders are staying out as long as possible, as we are still behind De Vries now, going side by side. With the use of ERS and DRS, we are now overtaking him, and up into P17 we go. It looks like Sergio Perez, did he go into the pits already? No, I think it was Max Verstappen who already went into the pits, and we are of course behind him still. But we are now behind our teammate as well. I think he's going into the pits. He's giving us some extra DRS as we cross the line behind him. And now that helps me of course with using all our maximum pace that we can get, as it looks like we are overtaking Perez coming out of the pits. And that was actually a great strategy. Of course, Charles Leclerc is still ahead of us. He was quite far ahead of us when we got into the pits, but still we gained about 4 to 5 seconds, which is actually crazy, as we now overtake Sainz and George Russell as well. George Russell, it actually looked like he was slowing down a bit. He lost a few positions to Verstappen and Leclerc, and now even to me. But of course, in a few laps time, he will be catching up. No, he's not. No, he's not. He's actually still about 2 seconds behind me, as Verstappen and Leclerc are going away. They are 7 seconds ahead of me. But that's not the fight that we are looking at right now. We are now looking behind. Carlos Sainz and Sergio Perez, they are really close behind me, as we are trying to defend that, but I don't think that's possible. The same as what happened early on in this Grand Prix. It looks like Carlos Sainz is overtaking me. We are no longer in the top 4, but we are still in the top 5, as Perez is going for the overtake as well, but we stay around their side, which puts us in the best position for this next corner, and we are still now in the top 5. 10 points to our name just now, but it looks like we still have some more laps to go. Into lap 21 we go right now. Sergio Perez and George Russell behind me. I didn't even do anything. Perez just stayed behind me like that. He was pushing me. and that gave George Russell the opportunity to overtake the both of us, and that brings us down to P6. Now Perez is trying to overtake me. We go way too deep trying to go for the overtake on George Russell. We managed to push him off, and that brought us up into P6 once again. And now in lap 25 he's trying to overtake me once more. We keep the inside line, and it looks like we can still defend this attack. So I don't know what it was with Perez today, but he was just not fast. You can see my tire wear already up to 50%. That might even go into the danger zone of puncture territory as we go into track limits there. Didn't get a warning luckily, as the gap to Perez is still about a second, maybe even less, as it's now only 2 tenths. But he's just not trying to attack me that much. Apart from that one in lap 25, he has only done it once or twice, as he just doesn't have the pace today compared to his teammate, compared to Sainz, Russell, Hamilton and Leclerc of course. They are all going quite fast. I can't match them, as now in the final lap he's trying for an overtake. In the final possibility for him, it's only one option that he has left, and it's gone. We have P6 for now. Lewis Hamilton, just like in Monaco, wins the Spanish Grand Prix. Perez has to sit behind in P7, looking at my rear wing for the entirety of this Grand Prix. Only one more corner to go, and then we get another point finish, just like in Monaco. But this time it's P6, it's not P7. We cross the line, and thank you for the 8 points. Haha. Amazing Grand Prix. It was a really fun Grand Prix to drive as well. Really happy with P6. That gives us another 8 points for the championship. Max Verstappen is driver of the day, and let's go to the podium now.
A real team effort then, which has paid off in spades. A great victory here at the Spanish Grand Prix. Natalie Pinkham, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
I really feel the track layout, combined with the track temperatures we saw today, suited their car. These cars come alive when the tyres are just at the right temperature, and the driver did a great job managing that as well. They just look so comfortable out there. It's like anything, it always looks so easy when it all just clicks.
Well, Mercedes are on top form once again after an excellent race weekend. It's great to see them up on that podium once again.
So the podium is as it goes. Lewis Hamilton is on top, going for 120 wins by the end of this season. Max Verstappen is in P2, and it looks like Charles Leclerc is the top man in Ferrari with P3. So 3 different teams on the podium. We don't see that too often, as most of the time Mercedes has a double podium. Sometimes it's Red Bull, sometimes it's Ferrari. We did have a good Grand Prix, even though we got... yeah, we didn't get higher than we started, but that would be nearly impossible, as we had to be on a podium like these guys. We started in P4, went down to P6, still got 8 points, and yeah, we were 7 tenths of the fastest lap, so our pace wasn't great today. It was still good, it was still good enough to keep a lot of people behind, as Drugovic has another DNF. I didn't even told you guys, because it happens every single Grand Prix. If it's not a DNF, it's just bad pace, as there are still quite a few drivers who are yet to score points. Haas and Williams haven't scored a single point this season. Maybe later on in the season they will get their first point, but that's not for this Grand Prix. Let's take a look at the rivalry. It looks like Lando Norris is still winning, even though we should be getting into the same amount of points. He's still getting an extra point because he's British. No, I don't know why he's getting 4, even though he only should be getting 3. Team McLaren for me goes up almost into level 6. Drugovic goes a bit down, and that still has us at level 7 with the Team McLaren. So hopefully that will go up into level 10 for another sponsor, of course. This time we did get a top 10 finish, so we got another 102k, and of course the damage from qualifying has brought us to $0 for today. $3.65 million is the end that we end with this episode. Hopefully it goes a bit higher to hire Alonso or maybe even Lando Norris, but that's not for today. Today we are ending the video. If you want to see the Canadian Grand Prix, then subscribe to the channel, put on notifications, and don't forget to smash that like button. Show me your favorite F1 team in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.